Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And as you can see on the screen, I like to do these things. I haven't done one in a while. Just giving you a visual on the direction that America, Babylon the Great is going in, man. And this is why I titled this lesson, Death, Violence, and Judgments Will Increase. Because that's what you see. And we're just going to let it play as much as we can. We're going to stop it here and there, get some scripts, and we're going to shut it down. So, Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect be edified. Check it out.
City. For our first story this week, we begin in Harlem. That's where a man was fatally stabbed, marking the latest in a string of deadly incidents at New York City bodegas.
Police are on the hunt for the suspects in this case after a man is stabbed to death in a Harlem convenience store. Fox 5's Richard Jacobus is live at the scene right now and has the latest on this. Richard.
Arthur, bodegas appear to be a magnet for people seeking trouble. That's the message tonight from the organization that aims to protect these bodegas. This latest incident, like you mentioned, is proving to be deadly. After that man gets into a fight with another man, fists start flying, and then one pulls out a knife, stabbing him multiple times in the back, which leads to his death. We have exclusive surveillance video tonight from the 8th Avenue food convenience store at the corner of 142nd Street in Harlem. It's just after 5 this morning when you see two men talking outside of the store. But after a minute goes by, another man approaches, then a fourth guy, and the exchange appears to get heated. Then a punch and another punch. One guy drops his drink and falls down. He gets back up, and the fight now spills onto 8th Avenue. It's 2 against 1 at this point, with the guy who was punched at first now pinned to the ground. Watch this other guy come and pull out what appears to be a knife. We're going to stop the video here. Police say that victim, a 33-year-old man, was transported to New York City Health and Hospitals Harlem with multiple stab wounds to his back. He did not survive, and now cops are searching for the person who went on this stabbing spree. In the meantime, workers at this bodega are shaken up, and calls are growing for faster response times from police by installing panic buttons at every bodega across the 5 boroughs.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's finally a better way. It's called Otter. Let's say
fear. The feeling is fear. Not knowing who's the next guy coming in that door. Who's going to open that door and kill you or kill someone inside the bodega? Take the life of someone when you're helpless and you can't do anything. That's what they feel. They feel fear for their lives and for the lives of their community, of the people that live in their community.
Mateo says he needs $5 million from the governor to install those panic buttons. Some bodegas already have them. He says they have proven to work, but he needs more. Right now, police say they're still investigating this incident, still searching for that suspect or suspects. If you saw something or know anything about what happened here this morning, call Crime Stoppers, 800-577-TIPS.
We now head to the Pelham Bay section of the Bronx, where an NYPD officer shot a man who was threatening his mother at knife point inside an apartment.
Tracking breaking news this morning, a shocking police-involved shooting up in the Bronx.
That's right. A mother was held at knife point by her son inside an apartment. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He is at that scene with the very latest from Pelham Bay section of the Bronx. Robert, good morning.
Tashani and Dan, good morning to you. All is quiet here this morning, but that certainly was not the case late last night. We're talking about something that sounds like the scene out of a horror film. Were it not for the intervention of these 2 uniformed NYPD officers, there's a very good chance that this 61-year-old woman could have been severely injured or even killed at the hands of her 34-year-old son. Police say a security guard who works for this apartment building on Mulford Avenue called 911 late last night, right around 11:20. The guard reported that a man had a knife and was trying to harm himself. And the guard said that there could be screaming heard coming from an apartment inside the building. An officer and sergeant in uniform responded. A family member let them into that apartment. At a press conference early this morning, Chief Philip Rivera described what those officers found.
The male had his left arm around his mother's neck and a large kitchen knife in his right hand. Our officers engaged the male in dialogue and attempted to de-escalate the situation. For over 2.5 minutes, our officers attempted to get the male to put the knife down and free his mother. As our officers were attempting this, the male made numerous threats to kill his mother, all while he was still holding her with his arm around her neck and holding the knife.
And you're gonna have that more and more. You're gonna have family members turning against, family members in these last days, because the scriptures tell you that a man's foes will be that of his own household, man. Meaning your enemies is gonna be that of your own household. So you got to be very careful, and you got to be very spiritual in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to be able to discern these types of things, man, because everybody in their family has family members that are off. They have some type of issue, going on. And yeah, man, it's gonna be very much what's the word? It's gonna be very much, a huge thing. It's gonna increase in these last days. It's going to surprise a lot of people, man. It's going to surprise a lot of people.
Times during this interaction, the male moved the knife towards his mother's neck. One officer discharged one round, striking the male and freeing the woman.
Luckily, this woman was not injured, which is nothing short of miraculous when you think of how tight these quarters are. Her son is now in critical condition at Jacobi Hospital. Although uninjured, we're told the officers were taken to a hospital for evaluation. That is standard procedure in cases like this. This is the second police-involved shooting of the week. You may remember that on Tuesday night, cops fatally shot an alleged car thief who nearly ran down an officer right near the Bell Parkway in East New York. Again, the breaking news here, late last night here in the Bronx, police shot a man one time after he was holding his mother at knife point inside of an apartment building here on Mulford Avenue. Luckily, that mother is fine this morning. Her son is in critical condition.
Down in Times Square, police are searching for more suspects involved in the ambush of NYPD officers by alleged gang members of Los Diablos de la 42.
While a group of teenagers wanted in connection with an attack on NYPD officers in Times Square.
Police say the teenagers are part of a gang, some of them very young. Briella Tomasetti in Times Square this morning. What's going on?
Yeah, Rosanna and Kirk, good morning to both of you. So this gang is a Times Square gang known as Diablos de la 42. Essentially, it's a subset of the really dangerous Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, that police are always talking about, especially here in the city. 5 of those teens who attacked that pair of officers are now under arrest, but police are still looking for at least 3 more.
It's horrific enough to be a victim of a crime. But when someone openly assaults a police officer, you are attacking our symbol of safety.
And your symbol of safety is a piece of shit, man. Because, all of these government officials, the mayor, the governor, whoever, man, is always one-sided with them. It's always pretty much the cops. They can do whatever they want to you, but you can't do nothing to them. And people are tired of that shit, man. Because the Lord is going to raise up spirits in these last days to completely, leave your officers and other, law enforcement that uphold your wicked ass corrupt system. You're gonna leave them very much uncomfortable, man. And it's gonna be a lot more ambushes, and and these Jakes from this gang. This is the Northern Kingdom, man, and over there, I heard that gang. I think he said Tren de Aragua or whoever they are. They known for attacking cops, man. You know, they don't give a shit about law enforcement. So this place is gonna get really, violent and very criminal in these last days, because people are tired of the system. People are tired of the oppression, and they're gonna lash out, right? They're going to lash out, right? And Jake is getting riled up. When you read, Genesis 49, it tells you, that old lion that croucheth, who gonna rouse him up? And the Lord is putting the spirit in Jake to rise up, man. Right? Northern and Southern Kingdom. And that's what's gonna happen, man.
And it cannot be tolerated.
Now that I use Monday service,
these
AI
fucking
makes
ads,
solving
man.
tickets my form of meditation.
Damn. Shit out of here.
At around 7:30 last Friday, police officers were assigned to a foot post in the vicinity of 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. Surveillance video shows the moment 10 to 12 teens ambushed 3 victims in what Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch described as a Wolfpack-style robbery. A pair of officers can be seen running in their direction and trying to break it up. At that point, she says they were pelted with scooters, basketballs, and other makeshift weapons before the teens ran off. At least 5 of the suspects were listed in the NYPD's gang database and arrested the next day. All of them, according to Tisch, are repeat offenders and tied to citywide robbery patterns.
Make no mistake, this is not low-level crime. It's organized violence carried out by gang members that we've already taken off the streets for preying on New Yorkers. It's what happens when repeat offenders are allowed to cycle through arrest after arrest without meaningful accountability. It's what happens when there are no real consequences.
NYPD Crime Stoppers released this photo of the 3 additional teens.
And you got these Jakes, these so-called Latino Jakes, that's gonna rise up against the system as well, man. It tells you in the scriptures that Judah is gonna be roused up, and then after Judah's roused up, all the other tribes they're gonna follow suit. And it's going to be hell to pay for these other nations and for chiefly Esau Edom. So let's get this. This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5, because all you seeing is judgment, violence, and death, man. It says, Genesis 6 and 5, and the Most High Yahweh Shem Shah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And you see it now, more than ever you see it. You see the spirit that's on people in these last days, man. They have no sense of love for one another. All they looking to is to afflict harm and punishment on one another, man. Right? Verse 11. It says, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence, and that's all you see. And the weather is getting, better. There's going to be more people out, and it's going to be certain setups in certain parts of the city that's going to be prone for violence, man. It says, and the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth, man. And this is due to being under the wicked, man. This is due to being in a wicked ass society under the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, man. Right? So it tells you that in Sirach chapter 10. Let's see if we can get it real quick. Sirach chapter 10. It tells you that how the leaders are, that's how the people gonna be. This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse I saw that one. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people. And the government of a prudent man is well ordered, man, meaning a man of wisdom. It said, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So the ruler of the city is wicked as hell, man. It's violent, it's evil. So how are the people going to be? The same way, man. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it, man. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. And, you know, Esau, Edom is not our people, man. He's our wicked, evil twin brother that the Lord disregarded, man. Right? But even Esau, he destroyed his own people, man. Because, you know, the top leaders, the elites, right? They wicked as hell. So it's going to trickle on down all the way to the lowest Edomite, man. This is why you see the lowest of the low of these Edomites lashing out, right? Stirring up trouble, you know, committing murders and lying all over the place, man, because there are elite, you know, leaders of their nation is the same way. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Right? The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And who's that? Yahushua, the elect of the nation of Israel, man. The Israelites are going to rule the earth, and it's going to profit the earth, man. Right now, the earth is being destroyed. The people, the land, you know, the elements, everything is being destroyed, man. Everything is being used for wickedness under this wicked ass ruler, man, which is Esau Edom. You know, this is Job 15:16. It says, how much more abominable and filthy is man, right? Because you see man into every type of act, man. And it's abominable acts, right? It's filthy acts, right? Things that you can't even utter because man has corrupted himself on the earth, man. Like I just read in Genesis 6, right? It says, how much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water, which is sin, right? You know how you drink water. You have to drink water every day. This is how men are, man. The sin and the evil and the violence and the criminal behavior that they enact is like drinking water, man. They have to do this every day, multiple times a day, right? Their mind always got to be on how to afflict pain and be violent. That's what the world is coming into, man. That's the direction that the world is coming into. And only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be able to maneuver and escape these types of things, man. Everybody else, y'all ass on your own, right? So let's continue.
Looking for one in a black hoodie, ripped jeans and yellow sneakers, another in a camouflage hoodie and jeans, and a third dressed in all black wearing a ski mask. The NYPD is also conducting an internal investigation after ICE agents showed up at a precinct where one of the suspects was being held, but they were turned away. Under New York City sanctuary laws, the department is barred from cooperating with ICE on civil immigration enforcement. Now, police believe that some of these teens were connected to a wave of robberies in Central Park last summer. They face serious charges now, including attempted felony assault, inciting a riot, and reckless endangerment. Neither cop, by the way, was seriously harmed, but Jessica Tisch, the police commissioner, says more charges could be on the way. And again, police still looking for 3 more suspects whose photos we just showed you.
Over in East New York, Brooklyn, police say a man stole a car with a young boy inside.
Also developing tonight, a 34-year-old man is facing kidnapping charges after police say he stole a car in Brooklyn with a 2-year-old boy inside. Surveillance video here capturing the moment it all happened. Police say it was around 10:30 this morning outside a deli in East New York. According to the family, the child's parent got out of the car to order food, and when they came back, the car was gone, and so was the little boy. Thankfully, he was found a short time later, taken to the hospital in stable condition. The parent told us they're just happy the kid is okay.
Back in the Bronx, we head to Yankee Stadium, where the NYPD are seeking multiple suspects who robbed a man of $12,500 at gunpoint.
And police in the Bronx are searching for 3 suspects they say robbed a man of more than $12,000 near Yankee Stadium.
It happened around 11 o'clock Friday morning. The victim was getting out of his car near Girard Avenue and East 157th Street when he was confronted by 3 men, one of whom pulled a gun while the others grabbed his bag. They fled the scene in a white Lexus along with $12,500 in cash.
Meet the new standard in sleep. This is Pod 4 Ultra. It's not a
And finally, we end in Lower Manhattan, where jury selection in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking trial continued this week.
And it was day 3 of jury selection in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. It looks like the process will continue for another day.
The judge had hoped to get the jury picked by today, but that did not happen. Opening statements are expected Monday. Fox 5's Michelle Ross spent the day in court. She joins us live from Lower Manhattan with more. Hi, Michelle.
Hi there, Natasha and Steve. Now, the pool of qualified jurors has reached 45. So on Friday, attorneys will have an opportunity to strike any juror who they believe will not be able to serve impartially. Now, the judge wanted to be done today on Wednesday to give lawyers on both sides a chance to prepare for 2 days for opening statements on Monday. So even though they're not on time, they're not on schedule with jury selection, opening statements are still.
And this is all a game to Esau, man. Esau look at this and he makes fun of it, man, because you know, and this dude Diddy, man, this dude is a damn wicked ass nigga, and they're gonna make sure they take everything from him before he's and he might get released, but they're gonna make sure he don't have that same power as he had before, man. Right? But Esau, man, he's good for ruining lives and corrupting people and lying and stealing and committing rape, robbing, murder, and then lying about it and then play the victim. Esau Edom is good for that, man. This is why the Lord is going to get rid of Esau Edom for good. It's not going to be one Edomite remaining. Because if you look at it, it's vexing to live here, man. It's vexing to live in America, Babylon the Great, man. All you do is catch hell under the rulership of this nigga, man. Right? But it's all the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua because the Lord put Esau Edom in rulership. Right? The Lord set, the basis of men in rulership. The lowest of the low. This is why this country is the lowest of the low. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, an evil and only evil, behold, is come. The end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. It says, the morning is come unto thee, and thou that dwellest in the land, and the time is come. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways. And all Diddy is getting is judgment according to what he's done, man. This nigga been wicked for years, decades. So he's getting paid back for all the wickedness that he's done. I don't feel sorry for this nigga. But Esau Edom, you're going to get paid back for all the wickedness you done. Right? Regardless if you want to have the world believe that you're the victim and you need to be excused, please forgive us. The Lord ain't thinking. The Lord is going to judge your ass, man. It says, and I will judge thee according to thy ways and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. And we all know that these abominations, they all came from Esau Edom. Right? Right? So this is it for this nigga, man. But we tell you, brothers, to watch yourselves out here. right? To watch yourself, because it's very dangerous out here now, right? It's very dangerous. You can get got at any given moment, man. If Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not protecting you. When you read Psalms 91, it tells you that he that remaineth under the I ain't read that in a while. Salakia, let me get that and I'm gonna close out with that. This is Psalms 91 and verse 1. It says, he that dwelleth Salakia. Psalms, goddamn. Psalms 91 and verse 1. It said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. And what's that secret place? This truth. You know, a lot of people, they don't know the secret place, man. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, which is the protection. You're going to be protected. If you do what the Lord say, you're going to be protected, man. You know? Hey, man. Just believe and trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and you'll be good. So I'm going to leave it there. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, willing to elect with the other Father. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rakah Kadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Till the next lesson, I'm going to say shalom.
Scheduled to begin on Monday. Now, part of the jury pool today, they said that they had seen video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in a Los Angeles hotel, but seeing the video isn't enough to disqualify them. Part of the group questioned today ranged in age from mid-20s to early 70s, and they were all asked if a family member or friend was a victim of sexual abuse. One prospective juror said he went to the same high school as Diddy and graduated, but it was 30 years apart. Now, prosecutors will get 6 strikes, and the defense will get 10. As far as witnesses, the prosecution said the first 2 will testify relatively quickly and the third will take up the remainder of the week. So it'll be interesting to see who that person is, who that witness is. Now, there's also a moment of comic relief during questioning. One of the potential jurors was asked about where he worked. He said MDC Brooklyn, which is the jail, the prison that Diddy is being held. Now, this is obviously a conflict of interest and he was almost immediately dismissed. But before he was dismissed, the judge had asked both lawyers if they had any questions for him. And Mark Agnifilo, who is the defense attorney for Diddy, jokingly said, yes, can we get extended visiting hours? Now, this got a chuckle out of the courtroom, which can be an often drawn out and quite frankly boring process. So on Friday, court will resume with the juror strikeout process. And then on Monday, we'll be opening statements.
That's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com/Fox5NY.